if you are dead serious about your goals next year in 2018, and you want to make sure that you definitely achieve all of them, then today's show is right for you. So, hi, welcome to the third part of our Planner Roundup series. This is all a series of live videos where I hop on to share with you about planners and planning. That's all going to lead up to my planning challenge on the 4th of December. So on the 4th of December, I'll be organizing a 5-day challenge that's plan, focus, and do. So type 5 days in the comments if you want to join this challenge, which will help you set yourself up for success and kickstart your success in 2018. So I'm totally distracted over all the Black Friday deals today. So if you had seen one of my earlier posts, I shared about me going crazy and waiting for a deal from AppSumo, and I grabbed a couple of lifetime apps that are really useful for my business. And talking about planners, the planners that I shared yesterday and today, a lot of them are on Black Friday sales, and including those that I'll be talking about today as well. So if you are watching any of these videos and you're considering getting one of the planners, this weekend is actually the best time for you to grab your purchase. And may not be weekends. Some of them have like a day only deal, whereas the rest are for the weekend till Cyber Monday. So today what we'll be talking about would be undated journals that work on a quarterly basis. So earlier I said, if you are serious about your success next year, then these planners are the ones for you. And what do I mean by that? Why would a quarterly planner be something that I find most suitable for someone who's very serious about your success? So for one, if you even bother about looking at your goals by every 90 days or every quarter, it shows that you're on it. How many times have we set a goal for ourselves and maybe 3 months, 6 months, 9 months pass without us even realizing or keeping track if we are on track for that goal? Right? So for people who are really serious about it, they want to make full use of all this time within the 90 days to be able to achieve their goals. So that's one. Second thing is, do you know someone who always says that I have so many business ideas, which one should I work on first? I'm an idea generator. I get sidetracked by so many different ideas. I find it hard to focus on one thing at one time. How many of you have heard somebody say that before? Don't comment if that person is you. So well, that's the problem. Many of us, being entrepreneurs, we tend to have many ideas that we want to work on. So how does this 90-day plan help us be focused in terms of the things that we want to do, right? Simple. If you have any idea, set them aside, focus on one main idea for at least 90 days, right? So give yourself 90 days. That isn't too long, right? Because if you don't get to that idea, you feel like, like you're letting yourself down. Maybe you're giving up something that could be a gem. Yes, I totally get that. So just shelve it aside for 90 days, focus on one idea, and give your 100% to that idea. And at the end of 90 days, you can do a reflection and see and decide if you want to continue with that project for another 90 days, or perhaps, all right, you gave it your best shot and it didn't work out. Now it's time to move on to the other project that you were thinking about. So for the people who have lots and lots of ideas all the time and you don't know which one to focus on, then a 90-day planning system would be very effective for you. So then the other reason that I suggest the 90-day planning system is actually for busy mompreneurs or for any entrepreneur, because your business is a self-made business. Why did you go into entrepreneurship in the first place? It's because you want to be able to give yourself and your time to priorities in life, like your family and your relationships. So sometimes you may find that something happens in life that takes you away from your business for a short while, or away from your focus for a bit. And it's always nice to be able to come back to life and be able to start on with something. So what I find very flexible about these 90-day undated journals is that you can start them anytime, right? So if you had a dated planner and you had many months where you are away from this dated planner and you are not active for more months than the months you were active, it makes you feel bad, doesn't it? So that's why the 90-day journals are very appropriate for if you find that sometimes there are like highs and lows in your business, right, in a year. So you can use the 90-day planning system to just take yourself to achieve a big goal within that 90 days. And you may choose to take a break after that, maybe for a month, and you may want to resume after that. So it gives you that form of flexibility. So having said that, let's dive in right to take a look at the, let me see, five quarterly journals that I have to share with you today. So let's take a look. So this is the Self Journal by Best Self. And if you take a look at their website over here, you can get an idea again why I suggest having a 90-day planner, right? So it says here, helping you craft 3 months goals is easier than creating long year or lifetime goals, right? And it also means that you are breaking the goals down into manageable chunks. So the common question that we ask, how do you eat an elephant? Well, one bite at a time. So how do you break an elephant up to medium-sized chunks and then into bite-sized pieces? Is really by using a system that helps you bring everything down, right? So from your big goal, later condensing it to your monthly goal, to your weekly goals, to your daily focuses, right? And a lot of it is about your daily habits. So using a planning system like that helps you set up a daily structure that works for yourself. And if you see later on the other planners that I have to share, most of them adopt a very similar format, right? So as you can see, this self journal helps you connect with your goals and then help you stay focused, right? Because you see there is this layout which is 2 pages for 1 day. So it gives you space for gratitude, your time schedule, your goal, your targets for the day, your lessons learned, and your wins. So again, as what I mentioned yesterday, very important for an effective planning system to help you and serve you is one that supports you to reflect and plan, right? Because you may be doing a lot, but if you don't sit down and take a look at what you have done, to review them, to see what needs to be tweaked and fine-tuned, then there's very little room for progress. So this is what the planner looks like. And there are different ways that you can be using it for different priorities, right? And you are also able to zoom into each week and plan each week. And look at the top over here, you are able to track your habits. So again, what were the wins for the week, and then review the goal and see if you want to tweak the upcoming week's goals. So this is the Best Self Journal. The next planner I have to share is a planner called the Mastery Journal developed by John Lee Dumas. So he has a very, very successful podcast, and he developed 2 journals. One is this Mastery Journal and another is the Freedom Journal. So what's the difference between these 2 journals, and why do I pick the Mastery Journal to be the one shared first? Well, the Mastery Journal helps you set up habits that will contribute to your success. So it helps you set up a structure. Whereas the other freedom journal is when you have a very specific goal you want to achieve for that 90 days, then the freedom journal helps you achieve that. So in the light that a lot of the other planners that I talk about already help you achieve a goal, I picked the Mastery Journal to feature in my planner roundup because I find that for those of us who struggle with routine, with habits, how many times have you picked up a good habit because you think it's a nice to have and then find that it's so hard to sustain it? Right. So I feel that the building a foundation of productivity and discipline and focus is so much more important than you just dive straight into setting a goal for yourself. So the Mastery Journal helps you do that. And let me show you the page layout so that you can have an idea of what it's like. So it gives you a 10-day recap. So it's a 90-day format that breaks it down into 9-day recaps where you can track your productivity and your discipline. So if you look at the daily spread, then this looks like this. It talks about a morning routine. So people who emphasize on an important morning routine, it's really that whatever you do in the morning sets your day up, right? And then what's very interesting is that there are spaces for you to put in things for 4 focus sessions. So basically, you just sit down for these 4 focus sessions. What are the things that you set out to do? Did you manage to do them? And then what would you rate yourself in terms of productivity and discipline when regarding this session? So there are 4 of these focus sessions a day, and then you can do an average score for the day, and then you plan ahead for the next day. So as you can see, it's very, very intentional to just keep you focused on 2 things, your productivity and your discipline, which makes the 2 biggest pillars for an entrepreneur's success. So this is the Mastery Journal. The next one I'll be talking about is again another quarterly journal that's created by an entrepreneur for entrepreneurs, right? And this system intrigues me so much because it's based a lot on very popular time management books that we are all very familiar about. And he condenses all of these theories and time management principles into this planner. So this is really impressive. So this is the productive action method, right? It's a framework that helps an entrepreneur be more effective. So basically the idea is quite straightforward. It breaks things down from big rocks to small stones and then to sand. Right? If you find that this is a similar conversation, you may have seen a video or read somewhere before. So it talks about 4 fundamental pillars, right? Priorities, commitment, routines and rituals, and structure. So look at the 4 books that this system is based on. First Things First by Stephen Covey. The One Thing, The Power of Habit and Essentialism. So if you are a fan of any one of these books, you would really like this planner system. So it breaks things down from a bucket, meaning it's a big project, down to big rocks, which represent the key milestones, and then to small rocks, which would be the actions that you need to take. And then the sand would be the micro tasks that you need to make to complete each action. Doesn't it make a lot of sense? Most of the time we set goals without thinking about how to break it down or which are the smaller elements that will all combine and come together to contribute to that goal. So this is how it works. You establish your annual guideline, right? And you set 3 buckets for each quarter. You fill each bucket with a maximum of 4 big rocks, and then you break each big rock down into a maximum of 5 small rocks. From there, you plan your week. So if it sounds like a lot, then don't fret because, okay, so you can take a look at the planner layout over here. right? So again, your morning routine, the essential things that you should be doing in the morning. What are the three productive actions of the day? Any other tasks which might be mundane, but you have to complete them, and then your evening checklist, right? Your idea box, your notes, and your daily schedule. If you like, again, the developer of this planning system has very, very generously created video tutorials to support you on your planning. And more importantly, you are able to view a full view of the planner system in here. So he's really generous, no secrets about it, and he's just generously sharing his planning system with all of you who's committed to make things work for you. So be sure to take a look at the Productive Action Planner. The next planner, I stumbled across, and I haven't used it myself, but the planner encompasses so many things that I would do in a planner if I were to develop one. And so this is a 90-day planner. So it's a very pretty champagne ring wire bound. And let me show you two main page layouts. And this is what I want to share with you. So this weekly pilot plan example, look at this over here. These two words, the brain dump. These two words totally just caught my attention when I was listening to the founder of this planner introduce her system. Brain dump is something that I've been using and teaching so often to my students that this is a very essential part to do. Why? Because our brains and minds keep thinking, overthinking about lots of things. Have we done this? Will I forget to do that? I must remember to do this. I must make sure that when I do that, I must be doing it this way. There are so many considerations in our minds each day at each moment. So what I tend to do is, if any of you are Harry Potter fans, you would remember that Dumbledore uses something called a pensieve, which is a tub of sort of like a pan of water that he pulls thoughts out of his mind to put in there to store them. So if you were to dip your face into the water of the pensieve, you can actually see Dumbledore's thoughts. So that's about in Harry Potter. And I find it so intriguing, and it's the perfect analogy for a brain dump. So basically, you are taking the thoughts out of your mind and putting them somewhere else that you can go and take a look at whenever you are ready to, right? So it takes a lot of stress out of me when I put thoughts into a brain dump, because I know it's there. I know I would take care of it at one time, and I know I wouldn't forget it because I already listed it down, right? So this brain dump was one of the winning elements that caused me to feature this planner in my planner roundup. But let me show you another very, very interesting element. So this is the daily format for this planner. So there's a brain dump, there are 3 frogs, there's a water cup, and 3 ships. Right, so the 3 frogs are the 3 focuses for the day. Brain dump, I've already mentioned what it is, and the water cup would be the schedule that all the important and have to do appointments that you want to do. But I want to highlight and bring your attention to 3 ships. So 3 ships are the 3 things that you could be doing that day that would bring yourself closer to your goal. So that's again an additional step of intentionality. Of course, you could say that, well, that's already my 3 frogs, but perhaps not. The fact that you are forced to think up of 3 ships, what are the things that would bring your business to another level? Could it be the size of your list? Could it be you learning how to tackle social media? Could it be that you need to be on more than one platform? There are lots of things to consider, and the things that you could be doing to bring your business and your results to another level. And 3 ships focuses your attention and your intentionality on these actions. So I really, really like that. And it makes it so simple to use that I decided to highlight this planner, this daily action planner, in my planner roundup. So it's time for our final planner. But this is absolutely last but not least. This is the Full Focus Planner, and it's by Michael Hyatt, the Michael Hyatt. You must have heard of it mentioned in Amy Porterfield's podcast as well. She's a big fan of this focus planner. So it's again also a quarterly planner that is based on Michael Hyatt's two popular courses, Days to Your Best Year Ever and Free to Focus. So he developed this planner to support you to be able to achieve your goals based on the principles that he teaches, which means that besides buying this planner for your own use, you actually get access to Michael Hyatt, right, in the most value for money way, because there are video tutorials where he guides you along how to be using the planner and getting the most out of it. So take a look at the daily layout. So you're again looking at our daily big three, the most important tasks for the day, and then of course the other tasks, your schedule, and then all the notes over here. Well, maybe this doesn't seem like a lot to you, but the pages before this would be the ones that you actually plan and set yourself up for the week. So let me get to that page. Yeah, it's over here. So your goals, when you're setting your goals, a lot of times, why do we procrastinate? Why do we set a goal, lose sight of it, and not do anything about it, or just freeze in inaction? It's because a lot of times we may think that we know what the motivations of our goals are, but we tend to forget about the reward. Or we may not be as clear as we think we should be about the motivations. And then, of course, the more important thing is also to break them out to the next steps, the things that need to be done to reach your goal. So earlier, we looked at that in the Productive Action Planner as well. So do you break a big goal down to smaller chunks, right? So, and then your daily rituals are also taken care of, not on the daily page layout that you saw earlier, but in separate planning pages, where you look at all the activities that you want to focus on and the time allocated for 2 rituals a day, in the morning and in the evening. And in your work day, Michael Hyatt also suggests that you do a startup ritual and a shutdown ritual for your work day. So on days that you don't work, perhaps on a weekend, a Sunday, you could still stick to your morning rituals that would just set your day up with intentionality, but not necessary for the workday startup rituals. So this is a very, very nice format, and it also allows for a quarterly review, right? Again, very important. If you set goals, more important probably than you setting that goal is to review it, right? To review your actions that you have taken, where you have fallen short, and what else you want to tweak, right? Entrepreneurship is all about tweaking and doing and tweaking and doing. So these planners allow spaces and freedom, for flexibility for you to do all that. Well, so we've come to the end of my run through of my 15 planner roundup for 2018. It seems like a lot. I broke it down over 3 days, and hopefully I did break down that elephant into bite-sized chunks for you to be able to digest better and then decide which planner works best for you. There's no perfect planner for everyone. So, when I was developing my 5-day challenge, I've also been thinking of this for the longest time, that I should be designing a planner for my program, right? So for the 5-day challenge and my coaching program, I do have a template that supports my students to be able to do their own planning. But you know what? Everyone has his or her different needs. And I find that it does help to have a little bit of flexibility for you to be able to adapt your planner for your specific purpose. So there are 15 planners for you to choose from, 3 of them where you can customize absolutely almost anything and everything for yourself, 7 planners that will keep you on track for a year from January to December, or if not any 12-month period. And then lastly, I share with you 5 quarterly planners, 90-day planners that keep you really laser focused on your goals so that you can achieve more success in 2018. So I hope you like the planner roundup, and on that note, that if you liked it, you would definitely love my 5-day challenge, because it talks about rediscovering yourself and then really coming down to setting what are the priorities for yourself in 2018. And what we want to do is to weed out all the negative things and then reinforce and put in more of the positive things that will support you. And finally, putting all these parts together in a planner layout and system that would work for you in 2018. So that's what's going to happen in the 5-day challenge Plan Focus Do that's going to start on the 4th of December. So if you like the sound of that, be sure to type 5 days in the comments so that I can send you the link to register for this 5-day challenge. So next week, what I'll be covering would be a lot of things that we struggle with very often when it comes to entrepreneurship, being a mom, and playing many different roles in life. Things like, why do I procrastinate? Why do I feel like I have no time? Why do I feel that whenever I have time, I have no idea what I want to focus on, or I feel so scattered and distracted? So if you feel overwhelmed or you feel stressed, then next week's live sessions will address most of the things that would help you be able to find more focus and peace in your productivity and effectiveness. So till next week, wishing all of you a fantastic Black Friday weekend. So curb all the shopping. Just make sure the things that you buy are the things that you need and can bring you value to your business. And have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you again next week on Facebook Live. Bye.